the search for alpha never ends. And to find those sources of alpha takes ideas. To get those ideas takes data, event data, economic data, whatever it may be. Hi, my name is Greg Crawford. I'm the editor of TABB Forum, joined by Ryan Terpstra, CEO of Selerity. Ryan, good to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Greg.
So we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about data and sources of data. And Ryan, that's right up your alley. So first of all, I want to if you could tell us a little bit about Selerity and what you guys are doing in this area.
So Selerity is a low latency event data company that uses proprietary real-time search to rapidly find breaking events, and then we present those breaking events to electronic traders.
Okay, so you find these events and you sort of send them out to traders, and how do they then use that data? I mean, is it just a data feed, or what's sort of involved in it?
So broadly, you see people using event data in two different ways. One, you have aggressive directional trading. Right. So if an earnings number is much different than expected, they'll take a trade. Or you also have the risk management plays being put on by automated market makers. So an event that comes out that might affect their models, they might want to widen their spreads or completely get out of the market as a result of that event. Okay. So from your perspective then, are you out searching for new sources of data or new ways to slice the data for these folks? And I know recently you guys have are going to be getting information, data from Australia, financial data from Australia, economic data from Australia. I mean, is that kind of what you're about, or are there ways that you deliver it? How does that work? So Australia is important because it marks content expansion for Selerity. Right. It gives our customers new ways to find alpha from looking at the Australian government and the Australian economic activity. Okay. ABS is also important because it marks our foray internationally. So our customers are continually looking for alpha overseas as low latency trading on market data becomes more and more commoditized here in the States. Right.
And as you look at the development, Ryan, of the markets, you say it gets more commoditized. I mean, how do you see this industry playing out? I mean, there are more and more sources of data, certainly, that you guys need to find. Some of it does get commoditized. I mean, everyone knows when the jobless report is going to come out, earnings reports. Maybe there's a little bit less certainty around there. In fact, you guys had an experience with Microsoft where you got the numbers. But how's the future of this industry? Again, the demand for data is never going to cease. If not, it'll probably get more intense, right?
Yeah, one of the big things that we're seeing play out right now is high frequency trading firms are looking for other real-time inputs for their models. If you traditionally look at how these algorithms have been built, they primarily use market data. Right. But now they're combining things like event data to use multi-factored models to really gain an edge in the marketplace. Okay. So, it's interesting. So, multi-factor models, you're getting different kinds of data, if you will, into those models. Does this also work sort of in multi-asset classes, or is it really more of a, an equities kind of thing, around some of this data, or what other markets kind of are going along that same track? So it's really dependent on the event. So our U.S. corporate earnings obviously affects equity prices, but something like Australian economic data affects futures and FX. Right. So really what we see clients doing is taking events and trading multiple asset classes based on that event.
Okay, and I could imagine that that would continue to expand. I mean, there's crop reports for commodities and things like that. Is that something that, does that make sense, that sort of development as well, those kinds of things?
So I think what we're going to see in terms of the evolution of the space is people looking at scheduled, very quantitative type events, but moving into more unscheduled, complex events. Okay. So trying to understand how to take into account programmatically things that are happening in Japan right now, for instance. Right,
interesting. Okay, very good. Well, that's great. So I think we'll leave it there. So, there you have it. So event data, scheduled, unscheduled, and how to make sense of it, plug it into a model to capture some alpha. My name is Greg Crawford. I'm the editor of TABB Forum, joined again by Ryan Terpstra, CEO of Selerity. Thanks for joining us.